In this video, we'll be showing how to do an oil change with the Ford van in combination with the AGA Tools Clean Oil Mobile Kit. So first thing we're going to do is jack the vehicle up. Make sure that you're always jacking on the actual jack point of the vehicle so that you don't damage the plastic panels or anything else on the car. In this case, we are using an Explorer, which already has pretty good ground clearance, so it's pretty easy to get under this car. Now, passenger cars lower to the ground, you need to jack it up a little bit higher, but here we have plenty of space. In this case, we're going to use the jack rod that was stored right here on the jack handle. This is a mechanical device that keeps the jack mechanically locked in case of a failure of the jack. Always use some type of support, whether it's a jack rod or a jack stand, prior to getting under the car. Here we are using a rubber-backed oil spill mat. It also gives a nice place for the technician to lay on the ground so he doesn't get dirty on the back and get into the customer's vehicle dirty. This vehicle is equipped with an under panel, so I'm going to use an electric ratchet to remove the under panel. Okay, now that the under panel is off and we have access to the oil drain plug and filter, we're going to prepare on top. Included in the kit is our oil funnel kit. This is designed to easily pour oil in if you're doing it 1 quart at a time. It comes with a reference card which shows you a reference to all these different types of adapters, pretty much covers all vehicles. For Ford, you would use the blue and the black adapter. They're all inside like this and color coded. And we would use the vacuum regulator adapter. Now, we do have an option of billet machine adapters that go directly to the vacuum regulator, but it's much more expensive than this option, and this lasts pretty well. We're going to now remove the oil cap, install the adapter into the oil fill, and install the vacuum regulator adapter, and now push in the also supplied vacuum regulator. Next, we're going to connect the vacuum cleaner to the vacuum regulator like this. Now we're going to pull out the oil extraction hose from the van. Included with the kit is a 14 millimeter and a 12 by 1.75 millimeter oil drain plug, which is the most common used in these aluminum oil pans. There is the exception where the car is equipped with a plastic oil pan. Now we can turn on the vacuum using the remote. This applies vacuum to the crankcase, and when you take out the factory oil drain plug, it will keep the oil suspended into the vehicle so that no oil leaks out. Now you can see that it's a 12 by 175 plug. We're going to take out the 12 by 1.75 plug and install it into the place of the factory oil drain plug. Once it is installed, you want to torque the oil drain plug to the manufacturer's specification if it is staying in the car. Now you can turn off the vacuum. Now we're going to install the oil drain tool onto the plug. You do that by turning on this knurled section on the tool. Line it up with the oil plug and tighten. Make sure it's tightened all the way down until the O-ring on the plug is compressed. To start draining the oil, turn the knob inwards, which will open up the valve in the drain plug. We now have a connection from the pan to the hose. Make sure the control valve is set to the extraction side, so we will be pulling oil out of the car and into the van. Turn the system on by pulling this knob. The van must be on and the compressor must be up in pressure. Now take a look over here. You will see the side glass in the hose getting black. That's from the oil being extracted from the vehicle. If you're using the AGA Tools remote oil pump, this process will go much quicker. Once the oil draining process is done, you will notice that the side glass starts becoming clear and you can hear the pump speed up in the van. Now, with it still sucking, you want to take the knob and open it back outwards so that it closes the oil drain plug and seals off the tool on the inside. After that is complete, you can remove the tool. Very little oil will come out, but keep a rag in the connection point just in case. Now we can retract the oil hose reel back into the van. And turn off the pump. If you are taking the oil drain plug back out, you would now turn on the vacuum, remove it and reinstall the factory plug. If you decide to leave the plug in for easier, cleaner service in the future, install the sealing cap on top and torque it with the supplied torque wrench. It tightens the plug when you hear the click to 1.8 Newton meter. Now to the oil filter. You can use the Ford supplied pan or you can use the optional AGA Tools pan. You want to place the pan under the oil filter to capture any spillage. Now, there is a product available. It's called oil udder. It goes over the filter and it captures oil that might run down the side of the filter while we're moving it. Break the oil filter loose with the oil filter wrench, but don't loosen it all the way. You can now use the oil udder to capture some of the oil if it should run down the side. But prior to doing that, turn on the vacuum again. This will greatly reduce the amount of oil coming out during the filter change. You can hear the vacuum is on. Be careful with any oil running down as it can be hot and burn your hands. You can see the oil running down the sides of the filter a little bit, but getting captured by the oil udder. The pan is in place to catch a little bit of the residual oil. Always check that the oil filter gasket did not stay on the engine block and lubricate the oil filter on the seal. Install the new oil filter. Once it makes contact, you can now turn off the vacuum. Tighten the oil filter with the oil filter wrench. Wipe off any residual oil on the oil filter so that there is no oil that will drip in the customer's driveway. Also wipe down surrounding area, cross member, subframe, etc. so no oil will drip in the customer's driveway. Place the oil filter in the oil filter drain station. The residual oil that is left in the pan, you can see here from laying the filter down and running out primarily. You can disconnect the tool and connect to the pan. Now turn on the pump. The pan is supplied with a squeegee and you can finish squeegeeing out as much oil as possible to do a clean oil change. We're now done under the car, so all there is left to do is to reinstall the under panel. Make sure to properly install all fasteners and tighten them in the under panel so it doesn't come loose later. Now that we're done under the car, we can remove the jack rod and lower the jack. Disconnect the vacuum cleaner, remove the vacuum regulator and the adapter. Now, if you're filling oil with the meter connected to the hose in the van, we'll remove the adapter here as well. Now, if we're filling in with individual quarts, we have the funnel. It has the plug on the bottom so we don't spill any oil. That connects directly into the adapter, and it has the lid that keeps it clean on the inside. This makes it very easy to pour in the oil without spilling. Because you have this airtight connection between the funnel and the adapter and valve cover, no oil will leak out and cause an oil burn smell later for the customer. This completes the oil change. Of course, part of a proper oil service is checking tire pressures and all fluids on the vehicle.